Hello everybody, this is Flying Bob and welcome to race number 9 of the 2020-21 NROL Goldfish Truck Series season. This is the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge race number 2 at the 8 Bull Super Speedway. Yep, we are back once again in the state of Massachusetts for the second round of the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see where this one goes, as we got a very different track. Last week's race, the hillside was a little bit on the crazy side, but now we come to the 8 Bull Super Speedway. It is a super speedway, but it's also a figure 8. Yes, so it's definitely going to be interesting, and of course overall it will also be interesting to see who will be able to take home the MBTA cash prize today and also qualify for the next MBTA race. So with that in mind, however, let's give you the starting grid for this race. So on the pole for this one is Ryan Trigg, alongside second is Richard Collins, third is William Seaman, fourth is Chandler Smith, fifth is Christian Vargas, sixth is Zach DeLillo, seventh is John Hunter Nemechek, eighth is Christian Ekes, ninth is Paul Jackson, 10th is Chase Purdy, 11th is Johnny Sauter, 12th is Todd Gillen, 13th is Brett Moffitt, 14th is Stuart Friesen, 15th is Galen Downey, 16th is Ida Nordic, 17th is Connor Enfinger, 18th is Spencer Davis, 19th is Sally Creed, 20th is Chase Dunbar, 21st is Brett Bellastar, 22nd is Austin Hill, 23rd is Zane Smith, 24th is Logan Colt, 25th is Tyler Ancrum, 26th is Ty Majeski, 27th is Derek Krause, 28th is Matt Crafton, 29th is Cody Goodman, 30th is Adam Garcia, 31st is Marshall Burrow, 32nd is Ben Rhodes, 33rd is Steve Fogelman, 34th is Spencer Boyd, 35th is Tanner Gray, 36th is Nelly Decker, 37th is Jordan Anderson, 38th is Brendan Poole, 39th is Austin Waits Up, 4th is Corbin Forrester, 41st is Cody Robow, and 42nd is Angelica Rush. Okay. I also just noticed a little detail on Marshall Burrell. As you know, Marshall Burrell, one of the drivers competing on the for the MBTA cash prize. It seems the team decided to revert back to the older Silverado grill for this race. That's a detail I didn't notice until now. But whatever. Feels running off a bit slow to start, but I guess that's a bit of a norm at these super speedways. Let's see, gotta readjust the thing. There we go. Okay. And once again, purple walls. Now, if you're not quite sure how the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge works, I would recommend watching the previous Triple Truck Challenge race from Hillside, as that's where I explained the format. And I guess it's also worth saying the format for this race is exactly the same as the last one. Highest finishing of the 4 qualified drivers for the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge will win the cash prize. Okay, well, Phil, they might want to get lined up a bit because we're about to go racing. Yeah, so here comes the high line. Now, I'm not really sure what's up with the lines, actually. Okay, well, we're about to go green, so let's hope they at least get lined up before we do go racing. Alright, so pace truck has pulled off. Phil is lined up. And we're coming to start-finish line. Alright, and here we go. Green flag is in the air for the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge race number 2 at the 8 Bull Super Speedway. Ryan Trigg's getting a bit of a flying start here. And William Seaman and others following suit from behind. And Zach DeLillo here as well. William Seaman actually getting a bit of a run on Ryan Truex. And William Seaman goes to the right lane. Yeah, using rights and lefts. This is a figure 8. Ooh, although Adam Garcia on the low line through this corner, trying to get right to the back end of William Seaman. The Highline though not budging either. As the leaders go to the high line. Oh, they go up, right, left. A little bit hasty. Richard Collins right now is sticking with William Seaman. Fellow Ford drivers sticking together through this one. Alright, single file for now. And Christian Ekes then Mitchell Collins now split up. But William Seaman going to defend his lead. Now he's holding up the bottom lane. Christian Ekes, Ryan Truex. All looking to try to get around all that. Now they're going, ooh, 3 wide-isms. As William Seaman gets stuck to the high line. And Christian Ekes, who was getting challenged by Ryan Truex, has now kept the lead. And Ryan Truex is not quite able to get back the lead. And Christian Ekes now with the lead at 8 ball. He's also got his teammate Chandler Smith not too far behind him. And Christian Ekes is gonna go to get in front of his teammate. At least who might be drafting with each other, I'm not sure, but we might see a bit of teammate maneuvering going on between Christian Ekes and Chandler Smith. Pair of KBM drivers. Christian Ekes running for the championship, meanwhile Chandler Smith running on a part-time schedule. And now he goes to the inside. Ooh, teammates ditching each other, but now William Seaman is going to ditch them both, goes all the way to the bottom lane, and goes back to the lead. Yeah, this is something you don't see every day. Actually, consistent leaders at a super speedway race. Oh, but now they go nuts again. Stuart Friesen and John Nemechek going 3 wide for the lead, and now Don Nemechek surging to first. Meanwhile, Ryan Truex hanging behind. Always in the mid straightaway, they just break up and try to go make as many overtakes as possible. Ryan Truex tried to get around Don Nemechek that time, but Nemechek going to hold his ground for now. Mitchell Collins just behind as well. Oh, John Nemechek. Ryan Truex is going to go beneath John Nemechek and take the lead here. Meanwhile, Grant Enfinger falling behind. It is kind of refreshing seeing like consistent leaders. Like Ryan Truex, he started up here, and he's still up here after 5 laps. If only Ryan Truex showed the performance last week when he actually qualified for the Triple Truck Challenge. And he did finish pretty good at Daytona, which was the last super speedway race before this one. And now Grant Enfinger goes beneath Ryan Truex. And Stuart Friesen, who was just up here a little bit, is now coming up as well. Stuart Friesen, the driver that I barely talked about this season, is now up here. And now he goes high. He's got to go low. Stuart Friesen trying to get some up from Chandler Smith, a couple of Toyota drivers. And Stuart Friesen now takes the lead at 8 ball. And now, Ryan Truex, this is a recurring thing now. Ryan Truex now gets around Chandler Smith again. And Ryan Truex, who is probably, honestly, he's been the best driver of the day. I'm not sure if we could see him become a possible spoiler winner. He's going to dive beneath Stuart Friesen, but Grant Enfinger is going to dive beneath him. 3 wide for the lead. Grant Enfinger goes all the way to the bottom lane and takes the lead. Christian Ekes now back up here as well. Yes, it is pretty cool to see a consistent amount of leaders up here. Now, it's not like an insane... Well, I mean, it is a bit of a conveyor belt like we see at the other super speedways, but here it's a little bit more consistent as Grant Enfinger goes to the bottom lane and a couple of KBM trucks trying to just go insane. And Mitchell Collins now... he's actually just moved his way up there from 8th. So Mitchell Collins on the move. And he's going to dive underneath Grant and Finger, but Todd Gillen's going to dive beneath him. And Todd Gillen now going for the lead. And there he goes. Todd Gillen now to the lead. Now here is Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith, a part-time driver for Kyle Busch Motorsports. And Todd Gillen, oh, he almost didn't shut the door, but he's going to shut the door here on the bottom lane. Hold up Mr. Collins and others. So far, no clear winner in this race, though. Mr. Collins goes beneath Todd Gillen. And there's a lead change every time we cross the bridge. So that in mind, Mr. Collins now to the lead. And more bonsai moves as Christian Vargas, a driver that I haven't spoken about today up until this point, is now up to first. And Ryan Truex. You know, I'm quite impressed with how well Truex has been today. I mean, this is, you know, the fourth time that I've seen him up here. And now he's going to go beneath Christian Vargas and take the lead. Man, if only Ryan Truex was good last week. I mean, just think, if he finishes the top 4 this time, he'll have another chance to go for the money next week, but it won't be as much money. I mean, it'll still be some money. Because, well, yeah, it'll be some money. Because he did at least win the triple truck, or he would at least win the triple truck challenge once. Now, of course, for next week, this week, he still has to qualify. And, you know, because just because you qualify 1 week, doesn't mean that you'll do well the next week. But he's doing pretty good here. Well, for now. Every single time, they always go nuts going across the bridge. And now here's Christian Vargas back to the lead. Christian Vargas actually led that lap. Alright, well, no, he came second. But he led the previous lap. He's leading now, of course. And Todd Gilliland. And Mitchell Collins now in low. Man, Ryan Truex though is so good this track. Yeah, the Truck Series hasn't been here at its April in a little bit of time. And here goes Ryan Truex, goes all the way to the bottom lane. He's gonna get around Mitchell Collins, however. Christian Vargas, though, is going to do a pretty good job at defending his position. Now, if Ryan Truex could just get into the lead and do that. Yep, there he goes. And Ryan Truex now to the back to the lead. I think Ryan Truex led more laps than any driver today. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to check the data after this race, but it's definitely impressive how many laps. And now actually he holds his lead this time by through the bridge straight away. Very impressive. And Todd Gillen's still behind. And Todd Gillen now dives low, and so does everyone else. Everyone diving low now, and Christian Vargas now goes all the way to the lead with the help of Derek Kraus. And Ryan Truex now just falls completely out of the picture for now. We're only at the halfway point, but Christian Vargas now back to the lead, and Derek Kraus trying to use the lessons that he learned from Pensacola Super Speedway to win that race. As you know, this is a Super Speedway race. You can use a lot of the things that you learned from previous Super Speedway races and apply it to this one. That's it though, Christian Vargas hasn't really been that great at these Super Speedways until today, so. And field going low again. Although once again, Christian Vargas doing a pretty good job at defending his lead. Now he's having to hold off Todd Gillen and Chandler Smith. He's been regularly running up here. And now, ooh man, few cars going low. And Todd Gillen now back to the lead. Man, it's still completely up in the air who's going to win this race. We've now passed the halfway point. And once again, field on the inside lane goes low. And Derek Kraus now goes all the way to the bottom lane with a bit of help from Mitchell Collins. Ryan Trix, he's falling a bit back, but he might come back later on. Another Ford's trying to work together. Oh, they split up, but a little bit too late on that one. Derek Kraus going to keep this lead this lap. Derek Kraus still holding them off. Oh, not for long though. It's Grant Enfinger now going to the bottom lane. Ooh, Paul Jackson. He tried to get down there to the door, but ooh, unfortunately no. He's gonna be left on the high line. And Grant Enfinger now out to a pretty clear lead, but can't keep his lead across the bridge. Well, he's gone high. And Mitchell Collins goes low. Very strange. You see, drivers, they try to set up the corner, but then, as a result of doing so, they let the guys on the high line go to the low line. And Mitchell Collins is proof of this, as here he is now up in the lead. Ooh, Paul Jackson once again shuts the door on Grant Enfinger, but it's pretty close. Mitchell Collins currently leads. Okay, feeling absolutely nuts once again. Ooh, Mitchell Collins can't quite shut the door. And that's allowed Grant Enfinger to get back to the lead. From Paul Jackson, here is Chandler Smith back up here, team for Todd Gilliland. Although I have not seen Ryan Trix in a while, he is there. Maybe he's just waiting. Here's Paul Jackson. Yeah, there's been quite a bit of parity in the series, though. So far, we've had no repeat winners. All 9 different winners. But Paul Jackson, one of the few drivers up here that has won a race this season, going all the way back to the season opener. And Paul Jackson, though not really known for a super speedway experience, but that could change today. And there they go once again. Chandler Smith actually going below with his teammate Christian Ekes. So the KBM teammates are back together. That makes them surprised we haven't seen Rafael Assar at all in this race. But we do at least have 2 out of the 3 KBM trucks helping each other out. Ooh, okay, that's a bit of a different move. Oh wow, Christian Ekes having to ditch his teammate as Todd Gilliland goes low to try to spoil the race. Now, some may be wondering what's up with the MBTA challenge going on in this race. Unfortunately, there's so much going on up front that I haven't really been able to, or we haven't really been able to look at it, as Todd Gillen now goes low again. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the MBTA drivers. They're all the way in the back. Austin Hill, who actually won the last race, the last MBTA challenge. he was in contention to go 3 in a row, but unfortunately he's just nowhere near up front. At least not right now. But that makes Dawson Hill, even if he wins today, he's not going to be able to win one more time next week. Because you have to finish in the top 4 to qualify for the next MBTA challenge. And it was absolutely nuts once again. KBM drivers splitting up. Everyone going in various different directions. And Chandler Smith is now back in first. Chandler Smith, he's a driver that I really haven't talked about too much this season. Well, because he's a part-timer, of course, you know. Although I will say, this Chandler Smith, in his limited schedule, this is probably the best we've seen him in this season yet. Christian Vargas, though, now up to first. And Todd Gilliland. And Christian Vargas once again going to shut the door of the leaders. Very good driving. So we got less than 10 laps to go. I really can't say though what's going to happen between now and the finish. Like, what's next? And the field goes nuts again. And Chandler Smith tries to take back the lead, but unfortunately, Paul Jackson got there a little bit sooner. And Paul Jackson now to the lead. And Stuart Friesen is back as well. And I haven't seen Ryan Truex back up here in a while, so Ryan Truex, the driver that we thought was going to win after all his leading, he's now fallen all the way back, so it doesn't look like we're going to see him again in this race. As Paul Jackson now back to the lead. And Todd Gilliland there as well. I've met Todd Gilliland multiple times now. And Todd Gilliland now goes beneath Paul Jackson. It's anybody's race. It's really going to be a deciding factor. Like, whoever wins this race is going to be very dependent on what happens on the final lap. Like, whatever happens now. I mean, of course, all of the building things that happen, from the drop of the green flag to the checkered flag, of course, is going to have a huge say in what actually happens in the race. But the most important part of the race, especially on a track like this, is the very last lap. So 5 laps to go. Grant Enfinger now goes back to the lead. And here comes Tyler Ankrum. He's a driver that I haven't spoken about all day, running up here with 5 laps to go. And Enfinger's still keeping the lead. This time he's going to have to block Tyler Ankrum. And I'm going to go low on Grant Enfinger. 4 laps to go. Here comes Johnny Sauter, another driver that I haven't really talked about in this race. Johnny Sauter behind Tyler Ankrum. Anything can happen. And now Thorsport drivers trying to work together. Johnny Sauter trying to work with Grant Enfinger. Not the first time we've seen teammates trying to work together. But Johnny Sauter actually going to abandon his teammate. With 3 laps to go, Johnny Sauter now going low on Tyler Ankrum. And Johnny Sauter now to lead at 8 pole. Three laps to go. And now Mitchell Collins goes beneath Johnny Sauter. Ooh, Galen Downey trying to squeeze in and shut the door. A little bit late, but he's going to be able to do it. But ultimately, the winner of this race is going to be who comes out of the final corner before the start finish straight. And now Galen Downey and others going low, and Tyler Ankrum going very low. He's going to go so low that he's going to go to the lead. Might be one lap too early to do that, as Grant Enfinger is now right there in second, and Johnny Sauter back behind, and Johnny Sauter now goes to the lead. Thor Sports still has yet to win a race in this season, although Grant Enfinger is being shoved all the way back. Johnny Sauter now the only survivor of the Thor Sport drivers. And white flag, one more lap to go. Johnny Sauter trying to make a move on Tyler Ankrum. This is going to be the move for the win. Johnny Sauter has the lead, but he has to hold it for one more lap. And now, Zane Smith in a very dangerous spot. Johnny Sauter going to go low. That's a pretty smart move, actually. If he can hold it on the bottom lane. Tyler Ankrum tries to go behind Johnny Sauter, but Johnny Sauter is going to hold them off. Johnny Sauter with masterful driving in the final lap. And after all this, Johnny Sauter, who was pretty far back in the field, comes up later on, and here he comes out the final corner. Johnny Sauter will win the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge race number 2 at the April Super Speedway. Johnny Sauter. Definitely the outcome of the race that we weren't really expecting. For a while there, I thought Ryan Truex didn't win the race, as how consistent he was being, but ultimately he fell back too far and just couldn't recover. But Johnny Sauter started pretty far back in the field. He came up at the very last minute, and with Class A driving on the final lap is what propelled him to the victory. I'm sure the guys at Thor Sport are going to be very happy. And of course, Johnny Sauter qualifies for next week's MBTA Triple Truck Challenge. It's actually next week this time. Alrighty. And same goes for the top 4 drivers, including Chandler Smith. Actually, he just barely edged him up in the top 4. I guess the other question is who actually won the MBTA Challenge this time. And it looks like it was Austin Hill. Alright, so Austin Hill is now a 2-time winner of the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge. So 2 weeks in a row, Austin Hill will win the MBTA Triple Truck Challenge by quite a margin as well. His next competition to Matt Crampton back at 17, nowhere in sight, and Brett Moffitt and Marshall Burrell just didn't have very good days either, and weren't really at all in the fight for the Triple Truck Challenge this week. But Austin Hill is a 2-time MBTA Triple Truck Challenge winner this season, but unfortunately for Austin Hill, and this really stings, Austin Hill did not finish in the Final 4, so Austin Hill will unfortunately not be able to shoot for the big money next week. It's still a good amount of money. He still won 2 out of 3 times, but unfortunately it's not 3 for 3 for Austin Hill, and he will not go 3 for 3 in this season. Well, I guess as always next year. So, as for your Triple Truck Challenge for next week, you've got Johnny Sauter with the win, Tyler Ankrum in second, Tristan Vargas in third, and Chandler Smith, who came out of absolutely nowhere, by the way. I mean, Chandler Smith, he's been up there, but I will say, still pretty impressive day for Chandler Smith, and it will be interesting to see how he does in next week's Triple Truck Challenge. So, considering the rest of the field, Logan Cole comes in with 5th, Zane Smith in 6th, Mitchell Cole in 7th, Grant Enfinger 8th, Austin Hill 9th, Galen Dye 10th, John Newman 11th, Jordan Anderson 12th, Chase Purdy 13th, Stuart Freeze in 14th, Cody Cleveland 15th, Ryan Truex 16th, Matt Crafton 17th, Derek Cross 18th, William Seaman 19th, Isaac Nordic 20th, Paul Jackson 21st, Brandon Poole 22nd, Christian Eckes 23rd, Tanner Gray 24th, Rafael Lazar 25th, Tom Dugexy 26th, Chase Dunbar 27th, Austin Hill 28th, Brett Moffitt 29th, Todd Gillen 30th, Nala Decker 31st, Marshall Burrow 32nd, Celtic Creed 33rd, Zach Little 34th, Steve Fogelman 35th, Spencer Davis 36th, Adam Garcia 37th, Corbin Forrester 38th, Spencer Boyd 39th, Ben Rhodes 40th, Angelica Rush 41st, and Cody Robaugh in 42nd. So that was a pretty good race though for the Truck Series, and it will definitely be interesting to see how the the Cup Series races tomorrow. But that is all for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.